disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fits, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partner, Joe Hartley. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Also with us tonight, special guest coming all the way from the Winter Circle, my other podcast partner, Isaiah Gathings. What's up, man? If this is your
What's
first
up,
time,
man? How are you? Thanks for having me.
Good, man. If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts in the Network. And on Mondays, you got the Winter Circle with myself, Isaiah Gathings, Chris Walker, and Angel Diaz. Tuesdays is Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. Wednesdays, you can get the traditional way with Brett Shumway. Thursdays is Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts in the Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. And don't forget about the main app, the Martial Arts in the Network app. Fellas, it's showtime. What's going on?
Not much, Gene. Typical regular week. The kids got their thing going. My daughter, my oldest, the actress, she did her play. Killed it. She absolutely killed it. She did the Diary of Anne Frank, and she played. So there was two families living together, and she played the other family. So it's the Von Don family and then the Frank family. And they took in another person throughout the show and everything. So there was a lot of people, trying to survive that whole situation during the Holocaust and everything. Very impactful show. One of those things you just, after you watch it, because you know how it ends. I mean, I don't know if you understand. I don't want to ruin it for everyone, but basically they all get captured. So.
Yeah, I heard the story. I don't think I read the book in high school. If I did, I probably didn't read the book when I was supposed to read the book. So I don't know the story. But I've heard of the story, yeah.
So the crazy thing is, her original director had picked another show, and it was way different. This was definitely not as heavy. In fact, it was kind of like a comedy almost that he picked. He ended up having to leave, and someone else took over and switched the whole show up. But I'm gonna tell you, they did a good job. It was very impactful, very well done. They really captured the essence of everything. And my daughter had so many lines, and she had a full monologue. And I mean, she had to play this very kind of high class, uptight Jewish lady, and she really nailed it. So we actually have a couple of cousins who are kind of typical for this character. So they actually gave her some mannerisms and some ideas to help her play the character. And yeah, it really helped her out a lot. So she's getting ready now for the musical. They're doing Legally Blonde in February.
Now, is this your oldest or your middle? Okay.
This is my oldest. So the middle one is the one who does the marching band. But for play, she does the background stuff. She does tech. Okay. So, lights, on moving the stage around, stage direction, curtains, all that stuff.
So in music, we had to make something called an EPK, electronic press kit, when we had to send it out to, people at magazines or newspapers or DJs or something like that. So with your oldest daughter going to college next year, are you guys putting together something like that you guys are going to have to submit to the colleges for acting?
Yeah, she's going to put together, basically it's a acting resume, headshots, what she's done, what she's been a part of, and anything, to help her, like her voice lessons. She's starting to get an acting coach, which, she just started talking about, because she's, for this coming musical, she's got the songs really well done. She's got a vocal coach, but they want a Boston accent.
Okay.
So, I mean, she can learn online how to do stuff, but I think a coach, she's very visual. So I think a coach would help her with that. And she's done accents before, so she knows how to learn that. So it'll be interesting to see how that works.
All right.
And Layla just had a concert today for band. So marching band is over, but she still has 4 concerts for regular band. And she joined, it's called Pep Band. So this is a band that they're going to use for hockey and for basketball. So they don't do like halftime shows. They just sit in the stands and kind of in between plays or like during, downtime, they play little songs here and there.
Now she doesn't have to do anything. I mean, football season's not over for high school, right?
Yeah, it's over. Unless you're
Oh,
in
it
the
is.
playoffs. Her
It
team
is.
didn't make the playoffs for sure.
Oh, okay, I got you. I didn't know it was over yet.
Yeah, football season was over. I think the playoffs are only
Depends on how good you are, right?
right. No, her team. We didn't see them win a game at all last year, and then they won this year, one at home and one away. So I watched them get blown out a lot. So it's been a mess. But we only have to stay till halftime to watch her play, and then we leave. So
does she leave with you guys, or does she want to stay with her friends and hang out? Or
yeah, she stays all the way to the end, and then they go out to Applebee's or whatever, or they'll go to someone's house, and yeah, we'll pick her up at like 11 o'clock or something like that.
Okay, all right.
And then Aiden, we did his basketball tryouts, and he said he wasn't at the bottom of the list. That was his goal. He didn't get to the bottom of the list, but I don't think he made it onto the team. So he's gonna do a league where they practice and they play everybody and get some more reps, get some more playing time, and try again next season, maybe for high school, or find a league that fits him, because he still likes it, he still enjoys it. So that's where we're at with that.
Don't you have archery coming up pretty soon?
We're getting ready to teach to do the archery coaching. I don't know if he wants to do archery. He wants to really focus on basketball.
So he last year he wanted to do it, right? And that's what got you and your wife involved.
So he did it the year before that, and then this last year, and then he still wants to help us coach, but he doesn't. He said he's going to take a break from the team. So I don't know.
Would that be awkward to be teaching this class and your kid is not involved, and that's who got you into it?
Well, yeah, but we're doing elementary and he's junior high. So it's
okay. Got you.
Yeah, it's at my wife's. It's only 5th grade.
Okay.
And I think they might do 4th grade next year, but we'll see. And with that, it's just my wife and I. And I think we got one extra teacher going to help us out, because we're getting double the kids that we had last year. So
okay,
we'll see how that goes. And then just running around. I talked to you about helping my aunt out the other day.
Yeah.
That whole thing was funny. Trying to fix her smoke detector. And then I ended up going back the next day because she keeps switching the HDMI on her TV. And it's funny because I know what she's doing. The 2 buttons for the Comcast remote are right next to each other. So there's one to the left and one to the right. You push the one on, they look the same, but they're marked different, and she's just not paying attention. Because I do it all the time. And then when I try to explain to her over the phone how to fix it, she's not understanding. So I just go there, fix it real quick. Say, okay, good job, Auntie.
You know what's crazy now, man? Like back in the day, like everybody now, you got 2 or 3 remote controls for your TV.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was just one big ass remote control with like 3 buttons on it, and that was it. Now you got all these different inputs and this button,
and you can download an app. So
yeah,
I mean, like the days where lost controllers are a thing,
I don't even press all of those buttons. I mean, I might hit the input like when I got to switch the HDMI or whatever. But other than that, I mean, besides off and on and the volume, I don't even touch any of those other buttons.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah. So
I got a big one. My brother bought me one for Christmas. My brother bought me one of those universal remotes for Christmas some years ago. And I thought it was the stupidest gift. I'm like, man, like how outdated is this? I'm never going to use this. And it's just like you said, like with everything now, like I programmed it and I have to use it because I got to switch between my inputs for because nobody like really has, unless you have like a cable service or streaming service, nobody has like a DVD player anymore. So like you're watching these things through your PlayStation or through your Xbox or something like that. So I gotta switch this for this Xbox or this for this Switch or this for this PlayStation because I got certain things on certain systems. It's crazy, but I scoffed at it and made fun about the universal remote, and now I'm using it. So it became a practical gift because I couldn't keep up with all those separate remote controls. Honestly,
It's better.
I mean, you still have to use the remote controls for the systems to, but for the inputs and all the other type of stuff, you just switch the inputs and all the other type of stuff. You need something centralized. So I laughed at it, but I use it now.
It's funny you talking about the DVD player, man, because I remember right when Avengers Endgame was done, it came out, and Marvel was talking about putting out this box set with all of their movies, right? This steel case. And I was like, man, this thing probably gonna cost about $500. I'm not buying that. And Trav was just debating with me. He was like, why not, man? He was like, it's a collector's item. I was like, dude, I'm not spending up close to $500 for something that's going to be outdated within 10 to 20 years. I'm never, like, even if I got Blu-rays, I was like, I'm never going to, like, I have VHS tapes now that I'll never watch again because in order to watch it, I'm going to have to go buy a VCR. I don't have a VCR. I haven't had a VCR in 20 years.
I told you about the Gracie and those Gracie instructionals that I had where you had and them was all VHSs.
Yeah.
So it's like that's gone. That was just like $500, $600 gone.
Wow, it was that much money back then? Wow.
Yeah. It was like a whole library. What you guys have online to be able to enjoy now is there was different VHSs for it, and then eventually they switched to DVD. But I got them before they switched to DVD. So it's like that was just knowledge just sitting there. They can't even be used because you can't watch it. So
repackage, and they could just keep making money off it, just repackaging to to the next thing comes on, But now we're such in a digital time now. I don't know what could possibly be next. At this point, I mean, other than virtual reality, when you're in a movie, you put on that VCR, that VR headset. And now I'm actually in games. I ain't gonna lie, man. That might scare the shit out of me. Seeing Thanos. I mean, that fight scene at the end was huge. I don't know, man. Because I used to work for PlayStation, right? And when you put that VR headset on, everything was so realistic. You forget that you're not really in this thing. I got vertigo. Playing the car racing game. I can't remember which one. It could be Need for Speed. It could have been Gran Turismo. It was one of those things, and I put that thing on, and it felt so real, like I was really in a race car. Man, I got vertigo. I had to take the thing off because I was getting dizzy.
Yeah, that was my wife with the roller coaster one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We had to sit her down. She was ready to pass out.
Man, I and my Aunt Deborah, we scared her because it was like around Thanksgiving. I put it on her and let her play, and it was the shark one where you go underwater and the shark comes up. She screamed so loud when that shark came at her, because you forget, So I can only imagine if you're in a movie and you're actually walking around and you can see the things that we can't see. You can look to your right, you can look to your left, look behind you. You don't see that stuff when you're looking at it on TV. But once you put that headset on and you're surrounded by the whole world of this movie, man, that's going to be something else.
The funniest videos is the ones that they have online with those people that put those on, and you see them crashing into stuff or falling down. It just goes to show you how realistic that is, where as a full-grown man or woman, you put it on and you're at your house, so doggone well you're not in it, but it still can't elicit that kind of response from you. That's just a testament to how real it actually is when you put it on.
Do you guys do haunted houses around Halloween and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like this stuff. I mean, I'm not a gore person. I don't like gore. Last year my wife wanted to go to one, so me and her, we went with my daughter and her wife. We went to a haunted house, and it was the best part about it was it had stations, and you get that drink while you waited. So you go through this haunted house, you get to station 1, you get to chill, listen to music, while other people are going through the next part of the house. You have to wait. So you just get drinks, and it was free. It was part of the thing. So you just get a couple of drinks and wait. Then when those people are through their part, then you go through the next part. So there were like 4 or 5 different stations that we went through, right? And I told her, I was like, I don't want to do that this year. I was like, I'm not a haunted house person. This it's not fun to me. But I did see one where you put on a VR headset and you have a gun and you're killing these killer clowns. I was like, I'll do that. That looks fun. I'll do that. That looks fun as hell. She was like, nah, I can't do that. And she's right. Like, she'll probably have a heart attack with that damn thing going, because she don't like clowns. And that I could just see that going all bad all the way around. So
if you don't like clowns, the perfect thing is to kill them.
Yeah,
exactly. You got the gun in your hand. You think she would, but nah, that ain't her.
She's gonna drop it. She's gonna drop it. She's gonna scream and drop it. The first clown come at her, she's gonna scream and drop it.
Yeah. What's been up, Zeke? How you been, man?
Won't be able to find it. I've been good, man. I've been good since the 2 days ago when I last saw you.
Yeah.
Not a lot has transpired in that window of time, but I've been good, man.
That's good. Nothing changed over here, Joe. Same old, man. It seems like I haven't been able to train this week, man. Every time I get ready to go to class, there's always something. Yesterday, we had a conference call, and our conference calls are normally at 12:30. My class was at 11 on Mondays, so I thought, okay, I'll get to class, do my class, and on the way leaving class, I'll be able to jump on this conference call. They moved it up to 11:30, so I wasn't able to go. Today, I had to work down in Dearborn, and my class on Tuesdays is at 12:30, and that's all the way in Kego. So I was like, man, it's no way I'm going to go from Dearborn to Kego and get there. Then I got to come back to Dearborn to finish up my route. So I wasn't able. So hopefully I don't have no problems. I can get to class tomorrow, get some more training in. The kids were cool tonight, man. I had testing tonight. The last normally it's the last Tuesday of the month. We normally have testings. So I did the green belts and blue belts tonight. Tomorrow will be the white belts, gold belts, and purple belts. They'll have their testing. And then, of course, the red belts, they don't have their testing today, but they're just doing a black belt camp stuff. So since Friday is Halloween, I'm not going to have classes on Friday, so the kids aren't going to be able to do their black belt camp requirements. So I'm just doing it during their normal class this week. So today and Thursday. So that's it for me, man. I haven't been doing anything else besides spending time with the family. That's pretty much it. So. All right, but let's talk about this movie, Absolute Dominion. So I'm gonna tell you something, Joe. The first time I heard about this movie was when Isaiah was posting about it on his social media. But I didn't even know the movie came out. I remember when Isaiah, when you were filming this movie, because you were posting different pictures and stuff, and you were talking about it. But I didn't even know it came out. So when you recommended it last week, I had forgot all about it. So
yeah, and I did too, because the other thing, other than Zeke posts and stuff, they reached out to Trev just like just like the other one that we did the interview for.
Yeah,
and then nothing came of it, and so I looked it up, and I was like, oh, this movie looks interesting. And then here I saw Zeke in the picture. And I go, wait, I remember him posting about this. I was like, I wanted to do the interview and everything. This looked interesting to me when I read about it and I watched the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just forgot about it. I just kept forgetting about it, and then it just popped in my head again. And I looked it up, and I was like, we gotta watch this movie. Like, I really am curious to what it's all about, and it's got some good people in it. And I mean, when you got a main gang in it, like, that's just more to think about. And Mike Chat's in it. So I mean,
Mike Chat is in there. Yeah. Mike Chat is in there.
Joe, so how did you watch the movie?
Okay, so I went to Amazon to look it up, and it was like, it made me go to the Amazon site, but then I looked and found it on Tubi. So I just watched it on Tubi with, like, I think there was like 3 ads.
Okay. What about how did you watch this movie? Did they give you a copy?
I didn't I didn't know they had it on Tubi. So actually, it was so funny because I was looking on YouTube to see if I can see. I was trying to forward somebody the trailer, and then when I was clicking to try to find the trailer, a good one, I looked and it said Absolute Dominion, and I looked at the time, and it was like an hour and something. I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, that's not a trailer, like an hour and a half or whatever it was. So I clicked on it, and when I clicked on it, it was the movie, and it would just started playing. It was free, so I was just like, "Oh, I didn't even know it was released." I know that Lexi was. I follow her on Instagram, so I know she had went to a couple of film festivals, and they were kind of touring, doing some independent film festivals with it. So I knew that they were circulating it in that particular regard, but I didn't know that it was released for public consumption until I was trying to find a trailer for it, and I just accidentally by happenstance ran across the full movie.
Yeah, that's how I watched it also, because I looked on I looked on Amazon, and I saw it on Amazon, and then I wanted to see the other options, and I didn't like the other options, so I said, let me check YouTube, and I saw it on YouTube, and it was just, it wasn't many ad breaks on YouTube either. It might have been maybe 4 for the whole movie, and that was it. And the ad breaks, you could skip them. I skipped them. I didn't even watch the ads. I saw them. Yeah, I was able to skip them, and then the movie continued, and it was smooth. So I didn't have any complaints. Zeke, but how did you get hooked up with being in the movie?
Yeah, so it's a crazy story, man. It's a mixture of just right place, right time, and just God, just like everything just lined up together. My son's a good friend and a training partner of one of the guys who's a part of the stunt team, Anthony Njukawani. He's in the movie. You'll see him in one of the fight scenes. So he was already a part of the movie because he's a part of the stunt team. So my son, a good friend, he says, do you want to be in the movie? He said, yeah, sure. Of course I'd be in the movie. Just do some stunt background stuff. So I took my son over to meet the stunt coordinators, and they loved him right away just by the way he looks, his size, his posture. They had him do a couple moves, and they saw that he's actually a martial artist, which a lot of these movies, these people that's a part of it, they're just good-looking individuals, but they're not really martial arts inclined. They don't have any formal training. So he kind of was like the whole package, and it wasn't especially important because he was just going to be doing background stuff. So while they were working with him, Phil Tan, who was the head of the stunt crew, he started talking to me. He liked me. He says, hey, would you like to be in the movie too? I'm like, I'm already going to be taking him. I'm going to be there. You know what I mean? Why not? So he says, you can be one of the background referees, officiating some of the background fight scenes. I said, cool, good enough for me. I was going to take him and just sit there throughout the day with him anyway. I can go and make a couple bucks and be a part of it as well in the background. Why not? So, I went the first couple of days with them. They were long days too, man. They were like 16-hour days. We were there, 14, 16-hour days. They were very long days. I mean, everybody worked really hard on this project. And I helped choreograph some of the background fight scenes and just kind of was, helping out and doing the background refereeing or whatever. Well, after one of the lunch breaks, it was either lunch or dinner, they had a referee that was there. He was supposed to come back, and he was supposed to take care of pretty much all the fight scenes, especially the main ones. They couldn't find him. They were like, where's he at? Where's he at? So the director, Lexi, she had saw me working with some of the people, and she liked kind of, I guess, the way that I was doing it. So she says, well, look, I don't know. I don't have time. I'm just ready to get shooting. Let's just use this guy, pointing to me. So I was like, they were like, well, we can't use him because he's not SAG certified. He's not an actual actor. He's just background. So they're like, we'll go find the other guy. And she's like, he should be out here. I'm ready to shoot. We got this crew. Time is money. Let's go. Just use him. So they were like, ma'am, and she's like, look, I don't care. I'll pay whatever. I'll do whatever I have to do. I wanted something different. He's here. I want to use this guy. So they walked up to me. They had this contract right off the bat. They said, congratulations. You're SAG. You're an actor. And I had to fill out this paperwork, and I was in it. They gave me a dressing room. I had my name on the door. They went and put me in makeup and all this other type of stuff. And I end up doing all of the main fight scenes. You'll see him in like the first 1 or 2, but after that, they gave me all of his scenes, and then they actually sent him home at the end of the week. He's supposed to be there for 4 weeks. He was just there for 1. They sent them home. They loved me, you know, and that was history. That's what happened. That's how it happened. Right place, right time, and God.
Was he upset?
Oh yeah, he was upset. He tried not to be, you know, he tried to act like he wasn't, but he was, because it was a significant like pay bump difference from being. I didn't even know anything about this. Again, I'm just trying to take my kid up there so he can do something cool. I thought it was cool. I was going to sit there with him, and then next thing I know, I'm in the background. Next thing I know, I'm in the forefront. And they actually gave me a line. She liked me so much. She's like, "Would you like a line in the movie?" And I was like, "Sure." They didn't use that part though, so that part's not in the movie. But in order to have a speaking role of any kind, they have to sign you up to be an actor through the SAG Guild. That's the Actors Guild. So all of the actors, Denzel Washington, like anybody that's an actor, they're part of this guild. And in order to have any speaking role, you have to be considered an actor. So it's just like everything just kind of like just came together like that. It was amazing, but he was pissed though. You know, and he was just like, you know, yeah, you know, nobody came and got me. And he was trying to play it off like he wasn't upset, but he was. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't take your job. It's just I was just out there. Like, I mean, you wasn't. So I don't really know what to say at this point. So he wasn't happy. But, you know, if it wasn't his fault and somebody was supposed to come and get him, then I suppose understandably so.
Now, do you because of this experience, did you get the acting bug now? Do you want to do more acting?
I do. And it sucks because one of the guys told me, he's like, look, he's like, just so you know, and the people, they were envious, they couldn't believe it. They were like, what? You know what I mean? I'm like, bye guys, bye from the public holding area. I'll be in my dressing room. I'll see you. Man, they was bringing me, they was ironing my shirt, my pants for me, pressing my stuff. Mr. Galvins, you know, knocking on the door. Do you need anything? You know what I mean? We was able to go to lunch first. It was just like, it was funny. It's like just a small dose, like just all of a sudden of stardom, just from being right here to elevated here. So they were telling me, they was like, look, man, let me just tell you. They're like, let me tell you this. They was like, enjoy this experience because they're not all like this, just so you know. I'm like, this is crazy, right? So they're like, no, this is an anomaly. Like, this is an outlier. This is not always like this. After it was over with, I was like, I'm ready for the next one. Next one came, I was in like a commercial or something, all the way in the background. You saw like the back of my head, like this, and that's all you saw. I was like, that was me. That was me. Saw like the back of my shoe. Like everything else was all background stuff. Like the only other time that I was on screen was in the Mark Wahlberg movie. You know what I mean? I was a movie with Mark Wahlberg, that family trip one or whatever. It was two of them I was in there, or in Boneyard, the one with there's one with Mel Gibson. That's on Tubi. Mel Gibson and 50 Cent. I was in there. I was a cop. I was on screen for that one, arresting the main character. Right. I didn't have a speaking role though. I just pointed at the guy like this here and just grabbed him, and then I was it. And then I was in one with Mark Wahlberg where I was supposed to be a bellhop and I was supposed to take their stuff in. You know, but these were like every other thing is just like, see the back of my shoe. That's my elbow right there. That's my elbow. You know what I mean? That's me. Did you see it? Rewind it. That's my elbow right there. Like it was nothing like this experience. So yeah.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
That's cool. That's cool. Oh man, so I saw that your son's name was in the credits. I did see that. When I saw that, I was thinking like, because he was listed under stunts. And I was like, I wonder if he did the stunt work for the main actor, because I could see your son being like him and being able to be his stunt double, but your son has dreads, and I was like, they not that creative with the editing to be able to get me like that.
If they would have saw my son first earlier on, I think they would have used him. But they had already had another guy, and the only difference why the guy was better, because the guy looked just like my son, and they both looked like the main character, Sagan. But the biggest thing is that my son couldn't do any gymnastics, and this guy was sick. He was able to flip. He was able to do all type of gymnastics, so it wouldn't have worked anyway. You know, they needed somebody to do all of the gymnastic work because the main character he wasn't able to do any gymnastics at all.
Okay. So Joe, you had some opinions about the movie. Let's go over that again. We were talking before the pre-show.
All right, so you know, we always watch these movies, and for the most part, I mean, this was a good movie experience for me, and it's just little things here and there. But when I first seen the trailer, it just gave me Hunger Games with some like Mortal Kombat Bloodsport type of feel. You know what I'm saying? The Hunger Games, because it's they're getting all the best people together to fight for one goal. And so I mean there wasn't supposed to be deaths, although you know we'll get into some of that. And then the idea is funny because it starts off with Patton Oswalt's character, Fix Huntley, which we don't even find his name out till near the end. I mean, I had to look it up because I'm like, I love Patton Oswalt. I was trying to figure out like who is it, and he was a good part of the movie because he basically came up with this idea. So the movie starts off, and we're in kind of it's they're saying basically there's a big war going on, and it's between all the religions. So all around the world, between all the religions, which kind of hits home because some of that is happening in certain areas.
Yeah. See, once again, though, like people don't have any faith of us having a very peaceful future. Every time we see the future, it's always messed up. It's like post-apocalyptic every time.
But it's because of the things he's articulating. It's because of religion most of the times. That's really what divides us, because that's what gives people their moral compass. Your ethics and your moral compass, in large part, aside from what it is that you get from your parents at home, which is also most times influenced by that religion, right? Other than that, is religion, right? So it would make sense to some degree. And when I initially heard the concept, I thought it was interesting, but I didn't think it'd play well. I'm like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? And then once I started getting more pieces of the puzzle, I was like, this actually does make sense. And it is a much more realistic reason why there would be chaos and anarchy, you know what I'm saying, and pandemonium later in life, because we're kind of, like Joe said, this is kind of what's sparking a lot of the discord that we're having right now.
Yeah,
100%. And the idea basically, so Patton Oswalt's character, Fix Huntley, he starts off in this little trailer, and he's like, it's like almost like he's doing like a podcast, and all he does is mention what's going on, and then he comes up with this idea, and he wasn't even being real. He was just joking. Like, why don't we take the 50 top best people, put them together, fight it out to see which religion will be superior, and we'll call it, and he came up with some other name first, and then he said, scratch that, we'll call it Absolute Dominion. So that's where the name comes from. But the problem is, it goes like all over the world. He didn't think he could reach that far, and then people take it seriously, and for over 20 years, they actually create a tournament, Absolute Dominion tournament, and they get the 50 top people through these what did they call them, wild card matches, and they rank all these people, and then like whoever wins the big tournament, that religion is, I guess, is going to be considered, you know, everyone's religion now.
Yeah,
which is insane, by the way.
Yeah, but it is. But this tournament that we're watching in this movie was only supposed to be the wild card round, right?
Yes.
This wasn't the full tournament yet.
That's what I said. So this is what's crazy to me, because this movie starts 2044. Where we get to where we meet the main character, it's 20 years later. So this Absolute Dominion idea and tournament and ranking and whatever has been going on for 20 years.
Yeah, they had to. I like that part that they put that in the movie.
But they could do a whole movie and show us what happened in those 20 years that we missed.
They talked about it in this. They were saying that
I didn't peep that. That's something I didn't even notice.
I
didn't even peep that. I didn't even notice that.
Zeke, when you do this podcast, so what episode is this?
240 something. I think it's 243.
Okay. Gene and I, when we started off, like it was just watch a movie and regurgitate what we watch. But now that I've done this 200 and some odd times, I can't not find crap like that. It's the craziest thing. Gene and I both, and when Angel was here, we're always like, we watch movies different now. It's so I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's so weird the way our brains are working now, that we're like analyzing and taking apart these movies. I
like the fact that they said it took them 20 years to come up with the rules for this thing. Because this is something that's going to shape the whole world. Of course, you can't do this, over a weekend. That's not how this is going to take enough time. This is going to take a lot of time. and we have to get all the different fighters. We gotta determine all of the different religions that we feel would best suit the world. Because I'm quite sure, I mean, it could be more than 50 religions out there. So they picked the top 50.
That's the part that's crazy. So now there's the religions that are going to miss out. And then you find out, they even mention that some of the religions are just being killed off, so they can't even win. Mostly,
they're weak. That's why you didn't know about them. They was too weak. They didn't make it. You know what I mean? Like, you weak, your religion weak, and you have weak representation. So we don't know it. They're not even worthy to make it to this point because they're too weak.
Yeah, but you find out the government is
your guy sucks, bro.
The government was stepping in and culling the herd a little bit because she started coming after the main character.
Well, there's a reason why. You'll get to that in a second, but go ahead, man.
So they start talking about this, and the crazy thing is, when this started with Fix Huntley, and then everyone took it serious, he goes from this bum ass trailer, and then 20 years we see him. He's like in a mansion.
Yeah,
and
his show that blew up.
Yeah, so just off of one idea, this dude just blew up and took over. So apparently he's like a big part of this now. And then the other part that kind of reminded me, like I said, of the Hunger Games is you had the character who was calling all the fights. And he was, the same thing.
I didn't like him.
That's why it was, they like to have an interesting character calling all the action and kind of, he gave me doggone it, why can't I think of who it is? From The Fifth Element.
I never saw that movie.
Rush Hour. What's this? Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Okay, after we finish the other things on Superflix, you're watching Fifth Element. It's a good movie. But
okay.
Chris Tucker's crazy in it.
But this character, I don't like this character. That's what I'm getting at. Like, this character could have been done differently.
He's meant to be annoying and crazy. Because
I didn't like it. Like, I would have liked it if they would have had a Dana White type character. Like, this is serious business, and we got this damn clown up here. No, this is for the world. Like we can't have somebody like this up here. I didn't like that character.
And you know what was driving me crazy? So we get introduced to Segan Bruno. He's going to be the main character, and we're gonna learn more about him as the movie progresses. But then I kept looking at the doctor, and it was driving me crazy.
You didn't know who that was.
It was driving me crazy, and when I figured it out, I just hit myself in the head because it's Bill from Bill and Ted.
Yeah, that's Bill.
It's Alex Winter, and I was dying. So Dr. Judah is like this medical team, and so they're focusing on this kid, and we don't really know why. And he looks like he's like a really good fighter, and we slowly but surely we find out he's basically been engineered by this group of people. What are they? The CTI or something like that?
IHC.
IHS, I think.
Yeah, IHS. And we don't know much about them. Like, we know that he's been like the one from birth. He's been he wasn't made the traditional way. He was made in a lab using, certain specimens to make sure he's the perfect fighting machine. They've probably given him all kinds of enhancements. He's obviously had a bunch of training because his fighting style is very defensive but offensive when needed. But his downfall ends up being to finish a fight, he won't knock out or make somebody, he won't choke anyone out. Like, he'll put you in a choke, but he makes you tap out. He won't choke you out.
I got a question for Zeke. Zeke, how involved, if any, were you with any of the fight choreography? I know you said you did some of the background stuff, but the main fighting, did you have anything to do with that, or talk about it, or put in any suggestions or anything?
I did. It was, it became, and I think that's just because when you become a part of that circle as well, like it's like that fraternity that you're now a part of. People are a little bit more apt to be able to listen to you, especially when they started to learn a little bit more about my rank and my qualifications. So just so Joe knows, the style that he was doing was a style called Sistema. And it's supposed to be like a Russian type of art. If you've ever played, like if you play video games and you play like, I think it was one of the Street Fighter alphas, and one of the dudes at the end when he was kind of walking like this here, and you had the fighting, he's like one of the boss characters. He was using that Sistema art. I think it's something from Russia, but she was really, really, really bent on using this, and she was really big on it. I don't remember if she started training in it or if she just found an interest in it because it was different, but she was really specific about making sure that any moves that we did fell within that guise. So we would kind of look and say, well, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. She's like, no, that wouldn't be what he would do. That's not a part of Sistema. So we had to modify things. So with him, it was difficult for us to help her when it came to things, ideas for him, because it fell within a very specific type of rule set or series of moves of what she was looking for, right? But as far as everybody else, we were able to help out and give some, criticism and advice about the people more so that was fighting him. And then because he's not a martial artist, he's actually a model over in Germany. He's a German model or something. So he's not a martial artist at all.
Oh, wow. Now that's interesting because
we had to teach him. We had to teach him everything. You know what I mean? So my son helped them with some of the jujitsu. We were trying to play with different things. Then they have some big names on there, though. They had a couple big jujitsu names and some good strikers over there. But we will all give our input. Well, maybe we should do it this way. Well, how about this? So they were very, really, apt to be able to take criticism that we would give or suggestions and just kind of stuff. Particularly I think it was the last guy, the guy that was the one of the last guys. He couldn't throw a spinning sidekick, and everybody was trying to teach him how to do it. And he had been in a couple other movies. I remember seeing it before, but he could not throw it to save his life. And they were getting frustrated. They were like, look, so I was the referee, and I just kind of like had them pause everything, and I helped them to do the spinning sidekick, and he was able to do it. And I'm talking about we were up 30, 35 minutes trying to get this guy to do this, and nobody can get through to him. He was so grateful and so happy. Like, he thanked me. He's like, man, you saved me, man. And he would call me LL Cool J. He would call me LL Cool J. So every day he see me, he's like, man, LL Cool J taught me to spin a sidekick. Man, he helped me, man. He would dap me up. He was just like so happy. But again, I was grateful that they allowed us to be helpful and give input. But yeah, it was a couple of things that I definitely was able to give input on that they used for sure.
Okay,
that's fantastic. I like that.
Go ahead, Joe.
They're traveling to the arena for the first time to get set up for their fights, and they're on the train. And I guess Sagan, he has these spells where he passes out, and they've done all kinds of tests to figure out what it is, and they didn't find anything. So on this train, they know that they're being surveilled. So they know that there's cameras on them. So his coach is trying to play it off like he's joking with them. Because he's like, they're trying to figure out, even the doctor's like, dude, like, they're gonna like disqualify us. And they're very serious about winning this tournament. And we don't kind of know why, but eventually we do find out shortly, like when he starts turning heads a little bit, why they really want to win this tournament. And so he gets him out of whatever the spell was, and we do find out in a little bit what that's all about, which is probably where to me this movie kind of takes a turn.
That was a weird twist, but we'll talk about that.
It was very interesting, but honestly, when you think about it, not a huge surprise, because I feel like a lot of these movies like to do stuff like that. So he shows up and he's looking at the competition, and Gene's favorite sportscasters there. He's a very flamboyant, very lots of makeup, crazy hair, just very interesting, loud, outspoken guy, and wants like all the juicy details, whether it's legal or not. So that's where he gets he's crossing the line to me. So they're talking about like who could possibly win and all these fighters, and he makes it to the mat for his first fight, and he pretty much dominates his fight, and they do like this 12 fight scene really quickly, and he kind of goes through like these 12 people pretty easily, no problem. With the fighting style and jujitsu, he's very technical, and he doesn't waste a lot of energy in his fights. He's very to the point, finishes fights pretty quickly, and it gets him noticed pretty quickly with that.
So
And
basically,
go ahead.
let me get this right. So basically, what they're doing in this tournament, the winner is going to make it to the top 50.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So now I wonder, where would this person rank the winner of this tournament? Would they be the 50th? Because they mentioned in the movie that if he fought any of the top 50 people that's already part of the top 50, they fall in their rankings. But they never, unless I missed it, they never said where the winner of this wild card round would go. And I don't even understand why the people that were already part of the top 50, why would they even be in the wild card events anyway? I didn't understand that.
No, they weren't. They didn't have to fight. They came to fight to specifically fight him, and they were asked by the lady from the government.
Okay.
Because Mike Chat's character was ranked 26.
And
she asked him to step in and take him out. And he said, well, I'm not going to screw up my ranking. You know, I need assurances that I'm going to beat this guy. And I don't know what insurance she gave him, but I mean, he went out there and got smoked. So to me, actually, he didn't get smoked. He played around with him, but he did. He said that afterwards.
He said that. Yeah, he said it.
Like, no, because she was like, well, number 1 or number 2 could probably take him out easily if you gave him a run for his money. He was like, nah, he played around with me. He was toying with me. He could have beat me in the first 3 seconds. So he becomes a problem. And I mean, I'll just say it right now. The reason the government wants him taken out is because his people, his group, I think they're the Transcendent or something like that. And they don't believe in anything. They don't have a particular religion. And that scares the government, because she says that itself, without at least having some kind of religion or belief, it will create pure and utter anarchy. Which
I kind of feel them. I mean, because it's going to go back to the way it was with everybody fighting again.
I get why people say that. I really do. But to me, he didn't say he doesn't believe in anything.
He didn't say anything.
He's not an atheist. They're claiming they don't believe in. To me, the way I understood it is they don't believe in one particular thing. So to me, they're the best ones because they can come up with they can just let everyone be what they want to be.
But that's exactly what the war was about at the beginning of the movie. Like everybody, but so with him winning, if he wins the whole thing, then he says, okay, you guys can believe in whatever you want to believe in. Then we go right back to the beginning of the movie where there's wars because everybody's fighting a religion.
Is he the one? Is it up to him, or is it up to his people?
I don't know. I don't think they really made it that. I don't really think they made that clear.
Because if he's the patsy for his own people and they have another agenda, he could be working towards a goal that's not his own goal. I told you, man.
True. Very true.
This movie got in my head. This movie so got in my head. I'm gonna have to watch it again because it's messing with my head a lot. There's so many ideas.
That's very true.
That I think about this movie where I'm just like, he's the perfect winner, but he's not the perfect. Like, I get why they're all coming after him, but I also understand his part of it because he could, and that's where. So he has a fight where he's got a guy in a chokehold, but the guy won't tap, and he won't choke him out, and he whispers in his ear something, like his coach tells him, tell him the thing, and he tells him something, and the guy taps. What did he tell him?
I don't think we ever found that out.
He told him something that made him stop fighting. It had to be
Never
something.
found it out.
That's what I'm saying. It had to be something that made him believe, like, okay, you're going to help us all. Because why else?
It's in my best interest to be able to let you win because this is going to benefit us all.
That's the only thing that makes sense. But it could have also been, you know what? I own you now. I mean, I don't know. That's the problem. Crazy.
Now, all of these fighters, they have security, their own personal security with them also. And the reason they do is because I guess there have been some deaths at this event. Right? Yeah. Now, so he wasn't the only one. So eventually, you know, he's being targeted also, and people are trying to kill him and prevent him from winning. But they never said who those other people were who got killed or why they got killed. Did they? Did they touch on that?
The first one that came after him was a Satanist, and because he talked to him back in his language, and he asked him what he said.
Oh no! I don't mean them. I'm talking about the other people who died. The reason why people even had security in the first place. I think they had said there had been some other deaths before he started fighting. I believe that there was some other deaths.
They're eliminating people they really don't want.
Well, here's a fun fact. Here's a fun fact for you guys. So Sagan's bodyguard, the female, she was Prince's girlfriend. You know, the musician Prince. That was his girlfriend.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was on another show that I watch on Prime called
she was
Upload, and she's been in a couple other things, but that's crazy. I've recognized her from a few other things, and this movie it was really interesting, the politics of it and the idea of everything, because the coach and the father basically said, you're getting attention a lot quicker than we thought you would. But how can he not? I mean, he ran through the first 15 people, and he was breaking records everywhere. To the point, like I said, eventually the lady in the government wanted him eliminated. And she was trying to do it legally with Mike Chat's character. And like I said, he took him out. He ran through him, and to the point where he played with him and everything. And then during another match, you know, they tried to kill him with an arrow.
Yeah.
It was so fast they had to slow it down. He caught the arrow.
And they even said he wasn't even paying attention and still caught it.
So now it becomes okay, is this guy superhuman? What are we watching?
Now, is this when this happened? Is this before or after these tournament people in the government are listening to his parents talk?
This is before, but we're getting to that part because
okay.
After this first day of fighting, he didn't know he had a guard until he's seeing a girl that was kind of paying way too much attention to him. And he said something to his coach about it, and the coach said, she's with us. She's your PPO or whatever. And he's like, I didn't know that I needed one. He's like, yeah, you're going to need all the big fighters do. He's like, I'm not a big fighter yet. But he's like, yeah, but you're already turning heads. You got eyes on you. And, of course, he goes back home, and we find out, you know, his mom is there. But he's got a very weird relationship with his mom. I mean, he does want to talk to her, but she almost has to ask permission to come talk to her son.
It seemed like they never said this, but it seemed like his parents didn't even raise him. It seemed like he was just a lab experiment.
He was, and I think he felt that. He seemed closer to his coach. Honestly, he seemed closer to his bodyguard eventually than he was with his parents. He treated his parents like they were business partners.
Well, his dad didn't even how long was it before we even found out that the doctor was his dad?
I know. I said the same thing.
They didn't even make that even known.
It was a minute.
Because I was thinking the coach was his dad at first.
Well, they were talking about his dad like he was this important person, and then I was like, dude, it was just the medical guy the whole time. What the hell? I was driving me nuts. I thought he was like some important fighter.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. So yeah, he does have a talk with his mom, and he allows the mom to talk about it because his mom is a doctor. Now we find out what kind of doctor. So she's a psychiatrist, and he wanted to talk to her, and she tells the other people in the room that those moments where he's passing out, he's talking to God.
Yes.
And that's where they lost me on this movie.
You said that part lost you?
Why
did that part lose you?
Because I feel like they gave us this supernatural idea. The guy who believes in nothing can talk to God. And then you know what's
does he say that he doesn't? Everyone else says that for him.
Oh,
but did we hear him say that?
He told his mom that.
No. Now I'm not talking about that he talks to God.
So
I'm talking about the part where they said that he doesn't represent anything.
I don't know. You're right. He never said
I don't remember him saying that. I remember everybody else saying that that's what he represented, but I don't remember him ever saying that. Go ahead, Isaiah. What you about to say? He must be.
So the line they gave me that's the line they gave me that's not was he was supposed to be coming while he was walking. I was supposed to stop him and say, "Hey, kid, ask God for the lottery numbers," and then everybody laughed at him and they helped with him, and they wind up not putting that in the movie. And we don't have the whole script. We only have what is specific or germane or that we need to know for what it is that we're doing. But that was supposed to be my line. Like, we had these little solar watches that we can see the news on, and then when the news broke that he's supposed to be able to hear God or talk to God, then everybody got the little transmission on their little watch and they saw it. So when he was walking out, I was stopping. I would say, "Hey, kid," and then he turned. He looked at me. I was like, "Ask God for the lottery numbers," and then everybody busted out laughing or whatever. So they didn't use it probably because the question would be, why is the referee who's refereeing the matches heckling him at the same time? That probably was one of the reasons they decided not to go with it, I'm guessing. But that was the one line that I had.
Now, what was he supposed to do after that? Did he just walk away from you, or does he choke you out? I mean, did he say funny, or what was his
he
response?
Looked at me. He looked at me. He looked at me. Him and the coach. They looked at me, and then he just shook his head, and then.
Oh man, you dropped out on us. What'd you say? You said he looked at you. That's all I heard. You said that he looked at you and
oh yeah, man, my connection is terrible over here. Yeah, I'm having a time with this connection. Yeah, but they looked at me because when I got detention, Hammond was his coach, and I think his mom and dad. I think they were walking to the mat or to the next fight or something, and then they looked at me, and then he just shook his head, and then he just kept walking. He didn't respond. He just looked at me, shook his head, and kept walking.
Okay.
So,
go ahead, Joe.
The next idea for the government, they're going to try and get him disqualified. So they put him up against a dude twice his size, which I don't understand how that's going to get him disqualified, but whatever.
I didn't understand that either.
Because, I mean, he took that dude out no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so his coach kind of figured that out. And he was talking to him about it. He's like, "What happens when you get a bull?" He says, "Be a whatever." And he says, "Never be the matador." Da, 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is where the main sportscaster guy gets approached by his assistant, and apparently they're listening at all times. So she finds out about him talking to God with the conversation with his mom, and the guy wants to use it, but he can't use it because he can't be the one to break that. He can't basically say how he got that information.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, they release it to like a trashy tabloid. Of course, my stuff's gonna start acting up. Tabloid. And then he starts to use it. But the crazy thing is, instead of going against him, it kind of works out in his favor.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it, like I said, it turned him into a prophet. And that's where I had a problem. Because I wish that he could have just been this main character, came out of nowhere, showed up. I don't think he needed to be made into this prophet idea.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
that's just me, maybe.
Well, I mean that part didn't really bother me, but in real life, like people, if you think that people are going to start praying to you and asking you to talk to God and say, I mean, because they're going to look at it like, hey, I got a direct line right to God. So now, hey, my mother's sick. I'm gonna talk to you. Like, can you tell God to make my mom better? Can you do this? I mean, that's going to be a whole lot of problems. You're going to have people lined up outside of your house at all times. This guy would not live a normal life after that. He's going to have people trying to give him money. You know, he's going to have millionaires and billionaires asking for certain things. So this can be a whole nother problem in itself.
So he just goes about with his next few fights, and that's when they get Mike Chat's character to come in ranked, the first ranked character. And I guess instead of the fight you were matched up with, if a ranked character wants to step in and take over, I guess that's part of the rules. So they basically, he comes in and says, okay, I'm gonna fight this fight instead of the nobody guy, which I think is kind of dumb, but I mean, if that's what you want. I don't know. I think like you should get, earn your fight, but okay, whatever. That works out. So, and then, like I said, I don't know what assurances they gave him that he was going to win the fight, but he had everything to lose, and Sagan had nothing to lose.
I think this was the fight where the arrow came in, wasn't it? When he was fighting and someone shot an arrow and he caught it. Was this the fight that happened?
I thought it was the number 2 ranked fight. Let's go and find out. It's right here. Oh yeah, you're right. This is the fight.
Yeah.
Yep. Where he was toying with him, and then the arrow came in and he caught it.
Mm-hmm. And he looked just as scared too when that came when that arrow came.
So that was supposed to be the assurance?
yeah, I guess so. That was supposed to be the assurance. Yeah, exactly.
That looked more like it was going to hit Mike instead of Sagan.
Right.
So the protocols are to get the fighters are separated from everybody else. So the dad was really basically trying to say, like, if we let him go away from us, like, they could take him out again. They could try to take him out again. And he says, listen, I'm fine. I can take care of myself. Da, 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 da. So because otherwise he'll be disqualified. If they don't follow protocol, they're going to be disqualified.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to follow protocol, which they do. They never really find out what happened. But Fix Huntley and the main sportscaster, they're watching it, and they're watching like in slow motion because it's that fast. Mm-hmm. And they're just trying to figure out, like, maybe this guy is a prophet, because like, how else did he figure that? He wasn't even paying attention and he caught that arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to slow it down. How did he move that fast?
Mm-hmm.
So it's creating a lot of questions.
Now, all throughout this tournament, well, not all throughout, but every now and then, I would say that he kind of blanks out 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And he's getting hit, he's getting beat on, and then he just kind of snaps out of it. And then he just pretty much finishes his fights after he wakes up.
So at this point, they're getting ready to go to the arena, and his bodyguard notices a sniper. So this is the newest desperation move by the government lady. And the crazy part about this is where the idea of him being a prophet comes in, because the number 1 and the number 2 fighter approaches him, and they say, if we walk out with you, they're not going to shoot you. Which I'm not sure if that's true or not.
No, it wasn't true.
I think they still would have tried to take him out. They would just try to avoid the number 1 and the number 2.
Well, that's a good thing they had those reflectors.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, his bodyguard talks about getting video and then making sure that the people know, if they do try to take him out, what's really going on here. But on top of that, like you said, they use the reflectors. But the lady who's running this quote unquote illegal operation gets interrupted by people above her, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Was that set up by the bodyguard? Because she said, I got an idea. And then all of a sudden these dignitaries show up.
I'm not sure.
So I don't know if she knows people that high up or something. Because
I wouldn't think she would.
Me neither. So I was wondering, like, if this was just that kind of timing. And I like this scene because like I said, they walk out all together. The number 1, number 2, him and a camera crew, and they got reflectors, so they can't figure out, 1, the sun's in the shooter's eye, and 2, she don't know who she's going to shoot. She could be shooting someone important. So
they had a couple snipers.
She has no target. Yeah, no target. And so these dignitaries walk in on this lady, and they basically tell her, like, "What are you doing?" And she tries to explain herself, but they don't really necessarily agree with her. They're like, just because he has no affiliation or religion to a religion doesn't make him as dangerous as you're making him out to be. And she comes up with my favorite term I've ever heard in my life: Darth Karen.
Yeah.
Now she's speaking in Arabic, which her friend that was with her said, she speaks fluent Arabic. She goes, I know. She called her Darth Karen. Being a Karen from here to all the way up top. That was so good. I was like, whoever wrote that was pretty good.
Yes. Basically called her a Sith and a Karen.
So when they walk in to the arena together, they ask the number 1 fighter, why would you guys help him? Like, do you find him to do you find him to be the Holy One? Are you on his side now? And the guy was pretty slick, because he basically said, no, man, when you're a top fighter like we are, nobody wants to fight you anymore. We just want to fight him. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good reason. That made sense.
There's probably some truth to that. So
most fighters that are true fighters want to fight the best of the best, because you want to brag and say that you beat them, and that solidifies you as, if this guy was the best and I beat him, that means I'm the best now.
So the number 1, number 2 are talking, and they're deciding who's going to fight him first, and number 1 decides number 2 is going to go, I guess. So he comes out. He's from Brazil. He's got the capoeira going, and the capoeira. I like the capoeira fights. I've always been interested in it. I think it is an interesting fighting. A lot of people say it's not practical for real fighting, but I mean, there is a guy in a MMA. I don't know what level of MMA it is, but that's been running through guys using capoeira. So I mean, there's got to be some effectiveness to it. And in this one, he gives Sagan a bit of a run for his money just by being very unorthodox.
I wonder if the capoeira that we know of and that we see is not the capoeira that somebody would do in a fight. For instance, we're both karate guys, right? But we also do forms. If we were getting to a fight, we're not doing a form.
No.
We're not doing the one step. We have a particular style that we will switch to that's part of our martial arts system. So I wonder, because I know we did that one movie that was based on capoeira, but that was a movie.
Only the strong, yeah.
Yeah, Only the Strong. Like I that was a movie. Like I wonder in a real capoeira school if they have the self-defense curriculum that we just haven't seen that you would use in a real fight. That would be interesting to see that, because the stuff that I see, I just can't picture how that could work in real life. I mean, I just can't imagine how that could work.
I think the aerial stuff would be hard to use in a fight. Like, you'd really have to pinpoint your moves. But I think some of I think the Jenga could work to throw off your opponent. I think some of the kicks, because they do a lot of low, high, middle. So I think the level of kicks like that you can do with that are pretty interesting. But yeah, I don't think straight capoeira could just beat somebody. I think you'd really have to know, you'd have to mix in some more things. Probably some ground fighting for sure. So, now this one, he kind of picks up the rhythm of his fighting. But the weird thing is the way he ends this fight, the guy flies in the air. He slipped on his own sweat, which was interesting. But when he came down, he was caught. Sabu caught him, and Sagan caught him, and during catching him, he hit him and broke his ribs. And he still finished the fight, with a leg lock. But now, I mean, he got severely hurt doing that. Now, did he get hurt because he was making sure this guy didn't fall and crack his neck? Or did he get hurt because he was trying to win the fight?
What do you mean? The guy doing the knee, the number 2 fighter?
Yeah, because I don't think that guy was set up trying to. He looked like he was just free falling. And he added the knee once Sagan caught him. Because he slipped on that sweat.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's kind of been, like I said, he won't finish fights, and he's kind of passive that way. So maybe that's what I thought. So when he got to his dad said, like, he broke the whole right side of his rib. Like, basically, they're saying, you're done. And he says, no, I'm not done. I'll be done when I say I'm done. But now he's got to go fight the number 1 fighter. You know,
did you ever?
Where's Miyagi when you need him?
I was thinking that he was going. I thought honestly that he was going to do it to himself. I thought that he was going to rub his side, and all of a sudden I was like, please don't let that happen, because now you're going to take me out of the movie if you do something like that. Yeah. Because now you get into futuristic, and I don't want to see anything that's like the Matrix. You know, you preparing yourself.
He taped himself up, and he went out and fought, and he was hurt during the fight, but he did what he had to do. And, I don't know, for a boss fight, this one just kind of was, you know, it was pretty good, but you know, there wasn't a lot of fireworks.
So I think you're used to seeing at the end of a fight the hero mainly getting beat up and beat up and beat up by the boss until
I'm okay though not doing that. I was okay with this fight. I'm just saying, like, as far as this fight was go, it was a little dramatic because of his injury. For the most part, they just threw some hands.
Yeah, they didn't really harp on the injury too much though.
At the end, it looked like it bothered him when he got kicked a little bit, but other than that, he was fine.
Yeah.
I think they just had to show how that he was impaired because of how he was handling everybody throughout the rest of it. So the rest of the tournament. So it would have made sense that he was now having challenges with this individual, especially because he was a specimen. So like he should have been able to handily take care of everybody. So they had to put something in there to where it made the fight appear to be a little bit more even. I'm thinking, which is why the injury was introduced to begin with.
I seen him throw the turning sidekick. That's the one you worked on with him. What?
That was
it.
What style, that was the one.
What style,
That's the one,
what
man.
What style was he supposed to be using? Did they give him a style?
The guy was fighting. I don't remember. I can't remember.
I can't
remember what style it was.
It kind of looked like a boxing almost, with a little bit of like a kickboxing. This dude, man, he's doing a lot of these WWE style jumping leg locks into he choked this guy out, which I'm surprised. Now, how do you choke someone out when you won't actually choke them out is beyond me. But I mean, I think this dude knew like he wasn't going to beat him.
That scene where he slips on the sweat or whatever, you know, because you got to remember, we're just looking at it. We can't see what it's going to look like with the movie magic, you know. It was crazy. Like they had to have a guy that did a stunt. One of the guys that was the stunt double for I don't remember if it was a capoeira guy or what. But they had to, like, you think that it was going to be like some serious movie magic or something like that, how they make these people flip and fly. It's really not. It's pretty you know, it's pretty, you know, it's not all that modern. It seems like an antiquated type of thing that they use, and it's not like you would think that it would be all this technology behind it. So they put this little harness around him, around his waist. And they had like this like it was tied to like a rope, and it was a guy over here on a ladder, and he's supposed to jump off the ladder and pull the string down, and it pulls the guy up in the harness. And then when he goes up, he's supposed to like do the flip or whatever, and then land and come down with the knee, which is what I guess was impaired Sagan, you know, or injured him. Dude had never done anything like this before, you know, the guy that was going in the harness, the stunt double guy. So he was already nervous to begin with. Man, when this guy on his ladder, he jumps off and pulls this string down, and it pulls him up. It ended up like riding up into like his groin area. Like it wasn't like a perfect harness to sit in. So when it pulled him up, he screams. He's like, put me down, put me down, put me down. So they have to like let him back down. Now he's scared as hell to go back up in there because it's the cut his balls a little bit or something. So they had to adjust it, and they had to now it's two guys. One's trying to pull, one's trying to guide for him to go up there, and he does the flip. It was cool once they got it together, but I thought it was gonna be like some type of automated type of thing where you hit a button and it pulls them up, or it was I didn't think it was gonna be antiquated of a system where you just wrap a rope around somebody and jump off a ladder and just pull them up in the air. I thought it'd be more sophisticated than that, and it was not. It was not. So when I saw how it turned out, I was like, oh, okay. Now it made it look good. I suppose it's all worth it. Yeah.
That's all they got to do. They think it out, they work out the bugs, and then they fix it and edit. Yeah, it was interesting. This was he wins the fight, he makes the top 50, and then he was supposed to have an interview with Fix Huntley, and I guess it got pushed back because I was kind of wondering like what happened. And then they break there's Fix Huntley's supposed to be like the one to close the ceremonies, and he starts talking, and everything goes, please stand by, and then they come out and say there was a terrorist attack and Fix Huntley was killed. And we're like, okay. But then at the very end of the movie, they're still sitting down to do the interview. And Fix wants to talk to Sagan one-on-one without any hot mics or anything. And he asks him, he's like, how did you know they were going to attack me? Because he's like, I left to come see you. I've never done a pre-taped episode. If I would have been there, I would have been killed. Like, you knew what was going to happen. And he just kind of looked at him like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was it. And the sun just shined on them.
Yeah, they just kind of gave each other the, okay, I guess that's good enough. And I mean, that's basically the end of the movie. And that's where I'm literally going, okay, like, I could see at least one, maybe two more movies out of this. I don't know if that's the plan. I don't know, like, if the movie did what they wanted it to do. I hope it did. I would like to see a conclusion to this. 100%. What
a little background. So obviously it was shot a few years ago. And I guess I didn't really realize how many years ago that it was, until she started kind of touring during the film festivals and things like that. But it was originally picked up by Blumhouse, which is big, and they were supposed to air it on Netflix. So it was supposed to be shown on Netflix. So it was a big deal. That everything was already in the works. This is the information that I'm getting secondhand, so I don't know how true or accurate this is. But I'm guessing that when they saw it, they had some changes that they wanted to make. Maybe it wasn't exactly what they thought it would be. I'm not sure. I wasn't sitting in those rooms. I don't have that kind of access to know those things. But there was some adjustments that needed to be made. And it seemed to clash with her artistic view of what she thought that the movie would have been. So she was very steadfast on making sure that the integrity of the character, or at least the integrity of the movie, held true. And that goes back to what I talked about a little while ago when I was speaking about the fact that when we were trying to give ideas about different things for fight scenes, she was really big on the systema, and she didn't want to do certain moves if she didn't feel like it would have fit inside of the scope of that particular style or system. That's kind of a hard sell, that type of a style, being that it's not very familiar to a lot of people. And then on top of it, it's more of a defensive style than an offensive one. So I'm not sure if there was some type of creative issues or disagreements, but at some point Blumhouse dropped it and they stepped away from it and just kind of said, well, we are at an impasse apparently. And as a result, Netflix, it didn't air on Netflix. So these last couple of years, in addition to Finishing Touches, she's been trying to shop it around to different networks or platforms, I'm guessing. So I'm saying all that to say that I'm not sure that the movie did do what they initially intended it to do, because of the fact that they assumed that it would have been broadcasted to a wider audience in Netflix and promoted, not just on a platform, but on a platform like Netflix, which promotes movies, new movies that come out and different things like that. And it would have probably performed better, which would have given an opportunity for there to be a second and a third one, because it would have allowed her the budget to be able to do that. It is a good movie. It is getting eyes on it, but I don't know if it's going to do what they had intended for it to do to be able to get a second and third one. So if the plan might have been to have a second and third one based on how it ended, what you're saying, Joe. But I don't know if, unless she just bankrolls out herself, I don't know if she's going to be able to get the funding unless she can get a good platform that's going to really push it.
I didn't know much about it until we started getting the email and your social media and everything. So I feel like maybe there should have been some kind of more advertising or something. I don't know the budget or whatever, but I kind of wish, because I think that there's more people out there that would enjoy this movie than not. That would understand.
It was a big budget. She got a really big budget for a martial art movie. Like it's unprecedented for a martial art movie. It was somewhere around 11 to 14 million. And that's a big budget for a martial art movie, because you have to consider there's no explosions, there's no car chases, those are things that take the big money. Like you have to get all of these pyrotechnics, you have to get all of these professional drivers and people flying airplanes and dropping bombs, and there's all of these special effects. Not martial art movies get somewhere maybe between $1 to $3 million for a budget for something like that. They gave her a really big budget, from what I understand. These are things, that's from what I was told and I understand. So with that said, I'm sure she expended it, on the movie. I don't know if there was anything additional that allotted for advertising, because again, initially she assumed that it was going to be on Netflix, and they're like a self-promotional company. Everyone has Netflix. When a new movie comes out, they do a good job of putting it in your face. Or if you're interested in certain type of movies or documentaries, they tailor make those recommendations based on what your interest level is. By not being able to have a juggernaut of an engine or a platform like that, then that really kind of, I'm sure, changed everything, because she's like, if I would have known that it was going to be pushed on Netflix, maybe they would have allotted for the budget or did it something different from a marketing perspective. I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy, because I enjoyed this movie. I would definitely watch it again. I'm hoping for a sequel. I like closure, like when I see stuff. So I would like to see at least a finished, like see how it turns out and see what happens in the end, what kind of drama they can create. As far as a grade, I was thinking about it, and I'm pretty good with a solid B+.
Yeah, I agree too, man. I'll give it a B+ also. Like I said, the only thing I really didn't care for was the guy that was the host of the event. Like that character was just unnecessary. Unless you're gonna explain why he's acting the way he is and why he's dressing, unless that's part of the movie, then I don't understand like why you're doing that.
All these movies like that's the kind of character they have for that. They always do. Yeah, but I think they did a good job by offsetting him with Fix Huntley.
Why wasn't he? He should have been the main guy. He should have been the main guy.
I don't. He was. He gave it over to him to end the tournament, and then now that he quote unquote supposed to be dead. Now what are they going to do with him? He's going to rise back from the dead. Is he going to create a secret plan? Like what's going to happen? I need more from this movie.
But like I think you're right. I think you're right. I think they could get another one, and that probably was the plan too. Because you're making some excellent points. Now that he's not dead, you know what I mean? Like it's like there's a lot that little twist opens up so much more for what they can do with the sequel. So you're right.
But also I want to know like who tried to kill him and why. What's the point of killing him?
That's what I'm.
If you're gonna do a terrorist,
he started the whole thing. He started the whole thing.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
But he started it, but like he has no control over anything else. Like if anything, you could have tried to kill Sagan, kill either the colorful guy.
Maybe they thought Sagan was gonna be there. That's why they did it.
But not just him. I mean, the colorful guy, you could have killed him, or just blew up the whole damn tournament. You know, the people that's in charge. If you're trying to create anarchy and you can't get Sagan, then go after some of the other big guns, you know. But,
because since he was the person that came up with the idea, it would have been a statement kill. You know what I mean? It would have been a big deal. It would have showed their level of vitriol and their level of frustration because they killed him. So they would have been able to maybe get a message across or be able to use that platform to be able to do whatever. But you know, you want to go after the guy that came up with the idea. It was the main guy. So I mean, I'm guessing that's why.
All right, Joe, what are we watching next week?
I have no idea. I didn't come up with it.
You didn't come up with nothing.
This movie got me so riled up, man. I'm in my head over this movie. I don't know. I'll look at some things and I'll get back to you.
All right. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we will make that announcement on Superflix. So make sure you listen to Superflix. This week, we're watching Back to the Future Part 2. Last week is Back to the Future 1. Like I said, Back to the Future 2. And then Joe will let us know between now and then what we are going to review for Fist Kicks and Flicks next week. All right, fellas, you guys got any closing remarks?
No, I'm good. This is a lot of fun. I like when we can get behind the scenes stuff, but it makes it even better for me.
Yeah, right, exactly. All right, everyone, stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week, and I will play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.